Hello, hello everybody, and welcome to Crafty Hour 76 Live. I hope everybody had a great time with Deanna this morning. Don't forget, you can always catch them on the replay on our YouTube channel. So this is Kourtney here at Scrapbook-N-Memories in Harrisonville, Missouri. And we're going to make two kind of fun fold interactive cards because, well, that's what I kind of like to do. I like to do some fun fold cards. So I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit and kind of wait for everybody to kind of join us and jump in. I also have extra cards to show too that we picked up from Market when we went and saw Paper Rose in person back in June when we begged them to bring this release back. So we have that also that we can take a look at for some extra inspiration. So I've got my measurements here. I did post some homework, so if you guys got your homework done, fabulous. If you did not get your homework done, that's okay because I didn't either. I'm going to do it with you. I know some of you guys like to do the homework and have it ready in advance, and some of you don't like to do it or have time to do it, and the whole point of Crafty Hour is to be able to just come and relax and have a great time and do a little crafting in an hour. So I will cut those items with you for your homework. So, but what you'll need is some fun stuff. Now, this kit was fabulous. This is the Enchanting one from Paper Rose. I always love the circles that they put in there, and I always like to kind of use those circles as my main kind of focal point and use those to design off of because they're just so much fun, guys. I love, love, love the circles. So we're going to kind of get everybody jumping on. We got everybody saying hello. I don't want to get started without everybody. Happy Thursday. Can you believe in the U.S. that Thanksgiving is next week? I can't. I think it's the weather. It's kind of playing tricks on us. Kind of playing some tricks. So we're going to do two cards. I don't really know what their names are or what they are. I saw one of these pop up on my Instagram feed, and I'm like, from Stamperia's design team, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to do that. Of course, they had it way more elaborate than this, but I went with it this. So this is our interactive card. It's going to flip up. We have a little pocket here so you can put a gift card or something in it because that is perfect for Christmas. You can also do this card sideways and have it open up that way. So two different ways to do this card. I absolutely love the papers that were in these kits. They were like little scenes. So I really wanted to focus on being able to use those scenes and not cover too much of it up. And then the other one, I already had this one kind of done and designed in advance, and then I saw Joe did something very similar in the last Crafty Hour. But mine is different because it's a bigger size. This one will have to go in a 6x6 envelope. I really, again, wanted this circle to be the focal point of the card. So it is a larger kind of pop-up easel card, but kind of similar in style to what Joe did last week. And then again, put it in the inside and then put a little spot so you can put a gift card or put something in there. So we're going to get cracking because those are the two cards that we are going to create, guys. And yes, how stunning is this paper? So again, what I always like to do is make my templates. These are kind of my little templates, my sloppy copies. I throw them into my little card basket, and that way when I want a fun interactive card, I don't always have to look up the dimensions and figure it up each time. So that's what we're doing with this. So we're going to start with a white piece of cardstock. So white piece of cardstock, and we're going to cut it different. So this is going to be a top folding card. So we're going to have an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And for those that you already got your homework done, you guys are, you're already ahead of the game. So this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I'm going to put it in the trimmer, and we are going to cut it so it is longer than it is wide. at 4 1/4. So 4 1/4. Let me just double check. You know, I always have to. Okay, yeah, 4 1/4. 4 1/4. And we can set that piece to the side. And then we are going to flip it and score it at 5 1/2. Okay, so basically it is a standard size card, standard A2, but we are putting the score mark on the top of it instead of on the side. Okay, so there's our piece of paper. That's going to be our card base. It's all good to go. Our next piece, we need to cut a piece that is 1 by 4. And I happen to have all these little 1-inch scraps laying all around. So I'm going to grab one of those, and that's going to be a great opportunity to use those up. So I cut it 1 by 4, and then we're going to score it at every 1 inch. So I'm going to do it backwards on my trimmer because it's just easier for the 1 inch. So I got it scored at 1 inch. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to score it at 2 inches. And then I'm going to score it again at 3 inches. And all of these were in the homework. So these were on the homework, which is why I'm going semi-fast for these, because you should already have those done if you did your homework. Okay, so there's our little pieces. Super, super easy. So for the next thing, I told you to have a circle die, a circle nesting die. And the one I used is a 3-inch nesting die. I'm just using the tonic one. If you guys bought those bundles from us last year where there was 8 in a bundle, that is what this was from. That was from that bundle. But you can use any die you want. If you don't have a circle die, then don't do this popping mechanism. Just complete the card the way it is as a normal card and just put your circle on the front of it. And then when we decorate the inside, just decorate the inside of it. So you do not have to make a fun fold interactive card. You can just wait until we get to this place and then you can just put that on top. Okay, so 3-inch circle. Now this is what's tricky. So we have our little piece of our little guy in here, and he is going to pop up and back. So what we need to do is we need to find the center of our card. Okay, so we got to find the center of the card, and that's why I kind of put on the supply list. I kind of recommended a 0 centering ruler because we need to find the center of the card. So I'm just going to move it back and forth with my ruler, and what I have is 2 1/8 on this side, 2 1/8 on that side. So that is my center right at 0, but I'm going to mark it right up here at 6 inches because that is also 0. Okay, so we're going to mark it right there, and that's what I kind of do on my notes here. We have to have a 3-inch circle. We are going to mark the center. And then from the center, we're going to come down 3/4 of an inch. And it has to be 3/4 of an inch. If you go farther, it's going to interfere with this mechanism. And if you go too short, it'll be okay, but you won't have enough area to glue that mechanism on. So you want it to be 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so we'll just take our ruler again, and we're going to go there. And right at the center, I'm going to come down 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to make a little mark right there. Okay, so that is center and 3/4 of an inch down. There's my little mark. Okay, then we're going to go to our trimmer. Now, on these dies, I found this was very convenient. I don't know if it's an accident or how they made them, but on this, there are tick marks on my die. I don't know if you can see it. Let me put it up here. The die has little tick marks there where it's kind of out. So I use that to kind of line up with the center of my dot when I go to cut it out. So I just did it on the center and then scooted it up a little bit. And that's how I knew where the center was. And I knew it's straight. I knew my circle is straight and it's even. So I kind of went off that guideline. So let me grab my die cutting machine, because when we cut this, We only want to cut through one piece of paper, not both pieces, just the one. So you're going to grab your die cutting machine. And my mat is filthy, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. I'm going to put my piece of cardstock on there. I'm going to center my circle. That little notch, I have it centered on there. And then I'm just going to scoot it up a little bit. And that's just make sure that we're kind of equal-ish from side to side on there. And we're just kind of eyeballing this point. Then we'll put it on and we're going to die cut through it. So we're just cutting through one layer of your card. Okay, so there's those. I'm not going to worry about that mark because we will not see it, but I am going to erase that mark at the top because, and I'm just going to use a white eraser and erase that mark at the top because that one we will see. And I'll go ahead and erase the other one too because it's there. Okay, so we're just erasing the marks. Okay, now we have to do our layered papers. So for your homework, you were supposed to cut the Miri Lilac, which is the lighter purple of the Hunky Dory. There's two different shades of the Hunky Dory. There's the light purple, there's the dark purple. This is lilac, this is chocolate box. Either one works. If you don't have those, you can use silver. Use a silver Miri, use a silver glitter. Whatever you have, guys, is going to be great. So in your homework, you guys already cut this. So I'll kind of go a little bit faster on it. You're going to cut your piece 5 3/8. 1, 2, 3. 5 3/8, and then we're going to flip it and do 4 1/8. And we're going to do 2 of these. We want 2 of them to be this size. And that one's already 4 1/8. Okay, so 2 pieces of lilac. And then we're going to go into our pattern papers. The one we're going to grab, is it that one? Nope. Nope, it's not that one either. It's the one with the snowflakes. Evidently I grabbed the wrong ones. We're looking for the piece of paper that has the snowflake on it. That one right there. I love the scenes that were on these. These were just stunning. So I liked the height of it. So I ended up taking a little bit off the bottom because I wanted to see more sky. So we're going to flip this in our trimmer. And we're going to put her upside down. So you want to have it upside down. And your pattern paper, you're going to cut 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4 is going to be the size we're going to cut. So we're going to put this upside down and we're going to cut it 4 inches first. So our trees are upside down. Hold on to this. We'll come back to him. And then we're going to flip it and we're cutting off the snowy area. And we're going to do that at 5 1/4. 5 1/4. So this is going to fit on top of that perfectly like that. Okay. So I'm just going to take a little temporary adhesive and I'm just going to tack it for a second to just kind of hold it for this next step. And you guys do not have to put adhesive on there. I just know I have a tendency to shift things. So I'm just putting it on there for a second because what we have to do now is cut the hole in the center. We got to cut the hole out. And that hole has to be in this same exact spot. So again, I'm going to put a little bit of temporary just to kind of hold it while I'm maneuvering. And we're going to pretty much assemble our card front, but not with permanent because we're going to pop it back off. And you could just hold it there with your machine or whatever you want. But now what we have to do is we have to cut the circle. And I found this was the easiest way to do it because you want it to line up each time. And you want your circle to be in the same spot. Isn't that scene just beautiful? You want your circle to be in the same spot. So what I did is I laid all my pieces on, and you could just tack it with a little bit of any kind of runner, anybody dry adhesives, and then pop it back apart. We're going to open it up. And what I did is we're going to take the die and pretty much move it, and you will feel it grab in that open area. It's going to grab it. You'll feel it, and then we're going to die cut through it backwards. It probably will take a couple cranks through because that is pretty thick paper that we're going through. And you just wiggle it until you feel it drop into position. Put your other piece on top, and we're just going to crank it through. And we're going through quite a bit of pieces of paper with a little metal die. So I'm going to go back and forth. And then what we might also have to do is, if it didn't go all the way through, pop the other one through. Okay. So my foil went through, got my foil. And this one did not go all the way through. So what we can do is take that die, line it up again, crank it back through. And then again, if it doesn't work, you can take your cutter bee scissors and just kind of snip the couple of places that are hanging up, because you'll see the embossed area on there. And it'll give you a little bit of a guideline. See, mine's still hung up a little bit, so I'm just going to take my scissors and just kind of follow along. Just clean that up, just like that. And then you end up with a mirrory piece that you can use for something later, which I think I did. I think I ended up using it. Maybe I didn't. I can't remember. Okay, has everybody got that? Okay, so now we're going to take this little mechanism that we made. Actually, do we have to put our pattern paper down? Oh, we have to put our pattern paper down first. So we've got this so far. And at this point, you can put your better adhesives and glues on there. You can kind of make sure everything is glued down. You can pop it back up if you need to pop it back up. So these pieces you can make sure are glued down. And as Deanna kind of said, this will be our last Christmas crafty hour. So I hope everybody got a good jump start, and this kind of helped you guys get your Christmas cards started and or completed. So I hope this was a great jump start for you. And then I know Deanna has one more Christmas card class coming up, the Hunky Dory 3D one. So that should get you guys all done. Okay, so my card front is all glued on. Now we have to do the inside before we put on our mechanism. That way we hide it. So we have this piece of Miri already made, and we're going to gut it. So we're going to cut something out of the center of it because we're going to use that later. So these are our baby stitched scallop dies. And for card number 2, I ended up using it on the outside frame of this. I did a lot of layers on this. I just loved it. So I did a lot of layers. So on that outside edge of the frame, I did one of the circles, and it is, okay, it is the third one in. The third one in. Now, these baby stitched dies are ones that we sold last year to you guys. And I know a bunch of you grabbed those because, well, we sold a ton of them. There are 3 exclusive dies, but then we have new customers that have joined us in the last year for crafty hours or joining our store for our 2 o'clocks, and we've gained new customers. And some of the new customers we gained do not have those dies or hadn't seen them yet. So we had enough demand that we put in a new order for them. It went in on Wednesday. So the quantities are already submitted on those. So when they're gone, they're gone. So we might have plenty. We're taking pre-orders now, or we might sell out before they get here. But if you want to guarantee those, contact your home store and make sure to get those either at Clipper Street or Scrapbook-N-Memories, and we will get you guys taken care of. Okay, so now what we want to do on this piece here, we want to center it. We want to center this stripe, guys. So it is 2 1/8 over here. It is 2 1/8 over here. So it is perfect in size. So what we need to do is cut it down to 4 inches. We got to cut it down to 4 inches. So essentially we have to cut off 1/4 of an inch. So we're just going to kind of shave off 1/8 of an inch on each side. Just a little bit. We're just shaving a little bit off each side just to kind of center this. Okay. I know, and I love this set too because it is baby scallops. Other companies have scallops out there, but there's no baby scallops out there. They're all big, chunky scallops. So I love the baby scallops, and I love that it has that little bit of stitch on it. Okay, once you have this 4 inches wide, we're going to flip it sideways so your snow is on the left-hand side, and we're going to cut it to 5 1/4. 5 1/4. Save this guy. We'll come back to him later. Okay, so this piece of paper is going to fit perfectly over that piece of Miri that we gutted earlier. That piece that we gutted earlier, that is going to fit perfect on there. And I'm going to put my glue, I got a glue booger. I'm going to put my glue kind of on this piece around the circle because I don't want to glue it to my table. And I guess I could have put it on the white piece of paper first. Probably would have made more sense. But as my day is going today, nothing has been done easily. I blew up butter in the microwave before we went live here. I was trying to prep dinner, so all Ken had to do was throw it in the oven. And I blew up butter not once, but twice and made a hay of a mess. Okay, then we're just going to glue this piece to the inside of our card. And I didn't want to cover too much of this paper. This paper is gorgeous. It is so, so pretty. And I love the little scenes. And I just feel like the paper does all the work for you. So you don't have to do a whole lot. It does it all for you. Okay, so there's what we have so far, guys. We have that beautiful scene, kind of like a giant moon in the center. And then that's going to open up and it has that lovely purple on there, or you could do silver or whatever you have on those, okay? Then we have our little hinge, I guess you could call it, that we did. And we're going to go and just score it on all those 1 inches. We're going to score it. We're going to score it. And we're going to score it. Okay? And then we're going to open it. And then we're going to fold it in half. Okay, so we're folding it in half. So it makes a box. You want it to make a little box. So what we're going to do in here is we're going to go pretty much in the center of the card again. And we're going to glue it. So on the back side, the back square, we are going to put glue all over the 1 inch back square. Okay, just the back square. And then we're going to butt it up to that crease, put it right in the center, make sure it's straight-ish, and press. Okay, so that is only glued to the back side. So you can see why I put my pattern paper down first, so we didn't have to try to work or cut around that little mechanism. Now the next one's a little tricky. We don't want to put glue on the whole 1 inch because when you close it, you're going to see that there's some of it exposed. So what I did is I just kind of carefully put glue just around this area and try to stay within that 1 inch. And then you're just going to close it down and let it dry. Okay, just close it down and let it dry. Our next thing we got to do is get one of the circle mechanisms. Now, I used a snowflake on this one, but I used the snowflake, so let's see. Let's see what else is available. I'll do a different one this time because there's only 1 circle of each one in a kit. So let me see what I want to use. While you guys are gluing those and waiting for it, I could do the little village, but then we have the village below it. But I don't know what I have left over for ephemera. Let me dump out my ephemera too. Dump out what I have left. Kind of what I have left, and then also what Deanna used. I can use what Deanna used on my card because you guys already used them on the other. But you're going to use the snowflake. Let's see. Here's what Deanna had left. Okay, she's got trees left. She's got snowflakes. So you know what? I might do the house. Because then I can put the tree below with the snowman. But I don't like the green. We're going to take that out of there. Let's do the purple. I'm going to do the purple house. Okay, so you guys are digging out the snowflake. I love the snowflake in that one. It was very pretty. Apparently mine are hanging in there a little bit more. So we'll have two different versions you guys can kind of go with, because I know a lot of you guys grabbed extra pieces and extra bits. So again, we're going to put this mechanism in here, and we need it to lift. When you put your glue on here, you're only going to put the glue on this square right here, not above. So when it opens, you're going to see there's no glue on that above part. There's just glue on the flat square part, okay? Just this flat part. And what I did is I put glue on here, and you could use your score tape too. And then I took it underneath and snuck it in because I wanted to make sure it lifted properly and it fitted. So I didn't put it from the top side in case something got hung up on it. I did that. So I just kind of snuck it in, and then that way when you open it, look at that. Isn't that cute? I feel like mine needs shifted up a hair, but I think the glue already dried, so we're going with it. So there's that. Here's how you guys are going to embellish yours. So you're going to do the little house, the little gnome, and just pop them. So I did a single pop, a higher pop, and then a higher pop. On this side, I'm going to do the tree. Okay, so you guys will do the house, the gnome. On this one, I'm going to do the tree. And make sure when, yep, I just did it. I was going to say, make sure when you put your foam on there, you don't stick it to the inside of that, which I just did. So I'm just going to take my powder tool and rub my foam. That way it's not sticky anymore. And then now, there we go. That will work. Then I'm going to use, I'm going to use the snowman. Use the little snowman in front of the tree. He is adorable. Going to put a little bit of foam on the tree, and then I'll put my snowman right on top, kind of layer it. How adorable is that? Kind of mimicking the same idea, but a little bit different ephemera. And then I have cheers. So we're going to put cheers on there. And I'm going to put the foam on the bottom of the cheers and then overlap it on the tree and stuff. Okay, there we go. And then on mine, I did go and add a little bling to the center of it on there. Oh my goodness, I forgot we did the inside too. We're going to run out of time, aren't we? Oh, okay. So then we're going to open it up, and that piece that we had left over a while ago that I told you to save, that's what I put right here. And when I glued it down, I just put a little glue on each side so it works more like a little band. So you can put a gift card in there, put a little piece of paper on that, and that's what I did. I just cut out a little piece of paper, so you could put your salutations on here, you could put a gift card in here, but I only put the glue on the sides right here so that way you can fit something in there. And then you've got your two trees that you can go in and kind of decorate that. And again, when you put your tree in, make sure you don't put glue up here. I did, and I had to rip it off. Don't put glue up there, so that way it will flip open. I think, because I already used mine, I think I'm going to put the package on there, and then this cute little gnome on the inside. So I'll give you guys kind of two different versions of the same card. And because this is on the inside, I'm just going to use my lower foam tape, which I call the 108, on that. Okay, so there we go. 2 different versions of the same card. So that's what you guys will do. Opens up. Love how it frames the paper. We've got a little gift card. You can add some little ornaments to your trees too, if you think that is really nice. And then here's the other one. Another cute little scene. And then it opens up and you got another spot. Isn't that fun? Isn't that cute? All right, so that's card number 1. Card number 1. Sorry, that took a little bit longer than I thought, but I think card number 2 will be fairly fast. Cutting out that circle was a little bit of the tricky part. That was a little tricky part. Okay, so card number 2 is gonna kind of be, like I said, kind of a twist off of what Joe kind of did last time, but it's a bigger card. So it uses a full 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. It has your little kickstand, and it frames that piece in there really nice. So we're gonna grab your white piece of paper. If you guys did your homework, you already have all this, you've already done it. We're gonna take an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. We are going to cut it at 6 inches. And then that essentially gives us our other piece of paper, which is 2.5. Okay, so we have our 6 by 11 and our 2.5 by 11. Then we're gonna flip it. And I always do my 1 inch backwards on here because it's just easier for me, and I love it, the backwards on this trimmer. So we're gonna score it at 1 inch. I had to fudge the math a little bit because the instructions I found for this group, I found it in a card junkie group. It was all in centimeters. Yes, it was all in centimeters. And centimeters don't transpose into inches very good. So I had to kind of do my own measurements and kind of fudge it a little bit. Okay, so there's that. And then the next score is going to be 6.5. So we're scoring it at 1, 2, and 6.5. 1, 2, and 6.5. 1, 2, and 6.5. Okay, and that was on the homework, so you guys probably already have that done. Then our piece of paper that we had, it was 2.5 by 11. We're going to score it at 5.5. 5.5. So just in half. Just in half. So we're just going to fold that white piece in half. That skinny one. That's all we're doing on that one. And then on this one, we're going to fold mountain and then valley. Okay, so you're going to end up with something that looks like that. You got a mountain and then a valley. And then the next one's going to be a mountain also. So then the card kind of stands up like that. Okay, everybody got that? We're good? Okay, then the next thing I had on here was to cut a 3 3/8 circle. That was on homework too. Out of white cardstock. I have not cut mine because, like I said, I didn't do my homework because I figured some of you guys would be doing it with me. So 3 3/8, so that is the next size bigger. If you're using the tonic dies, the next size bigger in there. And we're going to cut just a white circle. I'm just going to do it on the floor really quick because it's just a circle. Well, I thought it was. There it is. I was like, anybody see where I put my cutting mats? Okay, so that is the homework part that you guys probably already got done, was cutting those pieces. And then the next piece we have to do is cut our mirror chocolate box. This is hunky dory also. Again, this was in your homework. So most of you guys probably already have that done. So you're ahead of the game. We are going to cut it 5 7/8. I gotta see what I've got going here. Nope. Yeah, I think I had to go this way. I gotta go that way. Okay, so I gotta do 5 7/8. I was trying to use up my scraps. 5 7/8, and then we're gonna do 7/8. We're gonna flip it and do 7/8, and I'm going backwards. So we have our 7/8 by 5 7/8. And then we're going to do our 4 3/8. So 4, 1, 2, 3. Our 4 3/8 out of that piece of paper. And then out of my scrap here, we're going to do 2 3/8, which it's already that size, by 5 3/8. Like I said, that was homework, so I know most of you guys already have that done. You guys love your homework, so I assigned it this time. Okay, so what we're going to do is this pretty purple we have right here, we're going to gut that purple because we're going to use it right here for this outer circle. So again, back to my nesting dies. I love nesting dies. If you guys do not have a basic set of nesting dies, make sure to grab some because they are something you can use over and over and over again. And it's also something that you get more bang for your buck out of your paper because you can always cut the centers out of things and you can always gut things. And that allows you get more out of your paper. So this bigger circle ring is what I want. And it is 3 3/4. So 3 3/4 is that one. I'm just going to cut it out of the center of this and just gut it because we're going to use that later. I love layering my pattern cardstocks because I feel like that little 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch makes a difference and makes your pattern papers pop. But, gosh, you're only going to see that little itty bitty bit. So cut the centers out, guys, because you're going to get more bang for your buck and you're going to get more out of your cardstocks and stretch it by doing that. Okay, so we have our card base here. The little strip that we did is going to go right at the bottom. Right at the bottom there. So very bottom part is going to get that purple. Again, I use the Chocolate Box by Hunky Dory. This is the dark purple. If you don't have it, you can use the light purple. If you don't have that, use silver. Use glitter. Use kind of whatever you got, guys, that matches. You don't always have to use the same thing we have. If you don't have it, use what you have. Use what you have. But I always like to have a plethora of Miri cardstocks because they just are wonderful for card making and everything else. Okay, then this next bigger piece of purple. So we're going to skip this piece here because, well, we're not even going to see it. So why waste the paper? And then this will go in the big section before your mountain. So this goes in between your valley and your mountain. Whoops. And again, you're going to have a little bit of white showing all the way around it. A little bit of white all the way around it. Isn't that pretty? So there, that's going to fold up and you'll have that and that. Okay. Your last piece of purple you have in front of you is going to go on that other piece that we got. The other piece. It's going to go right on there like that. And apparently, I didn't fold mine very well. So I'm just going to shave off the bottom of it because I didn't either score or fold it very proper. And mine is a hair longer, and I want it to be the same. I love this trimmer too. Great trimmer. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to glue that on. My glue is getting kind of thick. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, we're going to glue that purple on. So that's all of our purple. And then we're going to go grab our pattern paper. And the pattern paper we're looking for is the one that has the adorable little snowman on it. This collection was so pretty. I just loved it. This came out late last year, and it was so late, I don't think anybody got it, or everybody was sick of Christmas by then. So Deanna and I saw it in a catalog when we went to market in June, and we asked, we just asked them, we like, hey, do you guys ever reprint papers? And they're like, well, what kind of numbers are you talking? And we talked with them, and they're like, yeah, I think we can do that. So Paper Rose released this whole collection for Crafty Hour. They reprinted it and redid it, and I absolutely love it. I do feel like they do a lot of Christmas lines, guys, lots of Christmas lines. And they've got another line that they just released that's more kind of mixed media looking. And I think it is gorgeous, but I also feel like, oh, we're done with Christmas. Everybody's moved on. So I don't know if it might be next year's Crafty Hour because we've moved on and we'll have it reprinted next year. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, your snowman. You're going to put your snowman in your trimmer, and we are going to trim it at 5 3/4. So 5 3/4. We're going to trim your snowman, 5 3/4. And then I want to make sure I did it from the right end. Okay, 5 3/4. We're going to flip our snowman so they're sideways. And we're going to do 4 1/4. 4 1/4. Okay. So we've got this piece. And then our snowflakes, we're going to do 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch with the snowflakes. And you guys can probably guess where those are going. So the snowflake is going to go right here on that bottom area, right on that purple. I think we're doing good on time, guys. I think we'll end right where we need to. And then the other piece will go right on the top there. And it'll cover that hole where we gutted the cardstock out of it. So I hope you guys are enjoying the Crafty Hours. We really, truly appreciate you guys purchasing the kits and supporting us. And then that way we can continue to do these Crafty Hours and be able to offer these fun little 1-hour craft-alongs. Okay, so that part is going to get glued to the top. And then we'll just put that right there, just like that. Okay. Now the last thing we need to do is put our piece of paper on here. And what I did is I just flipped this piece over to the back side, and we are going to use that scrap. We're using the scrap. Seriously, I love how I don't move my position. There we go. And I lost my ruler. Okay, so that is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just using that scrap piece that we chopped off of the other side. So 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to put that right on top of that silver. Okay, so now we kind of go into assembling. And so this piece, your whole card is going to pop up here. And then this whole piece is going to go over the top. Uh-oh, your feed is glitchy. It's looking fine here, Kelly. Let me just look and see. Maybe try changing the resolution. Okay, so we're going to close it down and we're going to find the center. And we're going to put tape all over kind of the back of this. So what I found was easiest, I just took score tape and kind of went right down the center of it. That is way too much score tape. We'll just snip the hangover. Uh-oh, Barb's is repeating. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what it's doing. So as soon as we're done, I'll post the live and hopefully the glitchiness is off. I am not sure what's going on. Maybe go out and try coming back in because I'm watching the feed on my computer and it's still going. Okay, when you glue this on, you want to find, oh, I should have found the center first. I'll just find the center. Three by 3. There is the center. Uh-oh, it's repeating over and over. Okay, so then we'll put that on. Make sure when you do it, you don't have any glue up here on the top. And then we're going to do the same thing and just put score tape here on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the score tape right there. Then we're going to close it down and close it. So there we've got that. Okay, so there's kind of our stepper style easel. Oh, we got 5 minutes. We're going to do good, guys. We're doing good. So then what we have is we're going to kind of build our little scene. We're going to build our little scene to go on top. So there is the big circle that I had. I had the white circle we cut out already. I have the light purple circle there also. And let's see, trying to remember what foam I did. I put the higher foam on the white to the dark purple. So starting on the base and coming forward. And I got to get some more of the bigger squares. I just have the little squares. So we are going to pop the white onto the dark purple. Okay, and just put it right in the center. And this is why I love nesting dies. You can just stack, 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 and kind of build them. Kind of stack and build. Picture frozen now, but audio is going on. I have no idea what's going on, guys. I am sorry. Then our light purple with our scallop, I put the lower foam tape. So what I call the 108. I will download this tonight, girls, and then put it up on our YouTube channel too. So hopefully that fixes all the glitches and stuff. I'm sorry, I have no idea what's going on. It looks fine on my side, but apparently it's not on your guys's. Okay, so there's your purple. So the light purple has low foam tape. The white has medium foam tape, and it's on the dark purple. So we're just building our layers. We're putting some straight edges. We're building some nestings. We're just kind of building them. Then you're going to find your little centerpiece. I did that adorable snowman. You can do anything else you want. I'm going to do something different. Because like I said, there's only one of each in here. Oh, there's a beautiful snowman right there too. So you guys are going to use the adorable snowman. Yep, I think I'm going to do the snowman. I kind of like Santa Claus. Oh, I think I'm going to use Santa Claus with the tree. I think Deanna covered that one up. I think we'll use Santa. Santa needs some love. Give Santa some love. Okay, this is going to get glued flat. That's going to get glued flat onto the purple. Okay? And that's going right in the center of that little baby scallops. And we're just kind of building like a medallion. So you're doing the snowman. I just did this other one. Doing Santa. He'll be cute there. We're going to flip it over, and then we're going to put foam tape on there too. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the foam tape over here, because if I put it on the back of my circle, I might put it in an area that I don't want it, and you know, I'll glue my card shut. And we don't want to glue our card shut. Okay, so we'll just peel those off. And then that medallion is going to go right in the center. And press. Look how pretty that is. And press. Okay, so we have snowflakes. You're going to have snowflakes in your little kit that I just kind of tucked in behind there. Deanna had some snowflakes that she used too. So I'll just kind of do the same thing I did on the other one. Kind of dress some snowflakes. I tucked the snowflakes in behind the layers. So they kind of got tucked in behind the white layer. Just kind of tucking it in there. Have a little bit peeking out. Cute. Cute little peekaboo. And then this snowflake here, you could pop him. You could put him flat. I put this one flat. I popped that one. Might as well add a little 3D. Kind of layer him a little bit. And then in the center of it, I did put some bling. So there's the little crystals. Those look pretty. You can put in the center of that. And then you're going to have your sentiment. I have Merry Christmas that I think I'm going to put right there like that. I think I'm going to pop my Merry Christmas. Thank you, Diane. I love to do fun folds, guys, and these are just so fun and interactive. I'm going to be honest, though. Make sure you guys are members of the Crafty Hour Creations Scoop group. Make sure you're part of that group because this is where you guys can post your creations and post what you're making. And I'm going to be honest, I am eyeballing that card that Evelyn's been doing, and she posted instructions and she posted the dimensions. It's the one, it's like a little scene and it's kind of squarish and it pops a panel backwards. I've been eyeballing that. So Evelyn, I might use your design for one of my upcoming crafty hours. I don't know. We'll see what paper inspires me or if there's something that looks good for it, but I want to give that card a try. It looks fabulous. So make sure you guys are part of the Scoop group. There's a way where you guys can share your inspirations, share your creations, and we love seeing what you guys make like us, but we also love to see your own interpretations, what you are using with all of those scraps and things also. So we want to see that. Yes, Kathy, I can measure these circles and kind of give you an idea of what they are. So the biggest purple, we'll just go outside in, is, looks like 3 3/4 looks like the biggest circle. And then my white circle is 3 3/8, so that's just the next ring in. My scallop is 3 1/4. And then that center circle is 3 inches. Okay, then we're going to open the card up and all these scraps. You guys know we have lots of scraps. So this was a scrap that we had too. I'm opening the card up and I just put that scrap in there. See? And again, when I put the scrap in, and I can't kind of open the card all the way because, oh, there we go. The mechanism at the top. I'm just going to put a little liquid glue on the end of each side. And then that way you guys can slip a card in there, slip a little sentiment, a gift card, slip whatever you want in there. And then also on the inside of my original card, I put a little snowman and then the word joy. That is cute. It looks like what I have left down my table is a little Nomi. So we're going to add a little Nomi. And I'm just putting a low foam tape on that. Add a little Nomi. And then what words do I have left? I need a little word. Let me find a little word. Ooh, I have believe right here. I like believe. And then we'll put that inside. All right, so thank you everybody so much for joining me for Crafty Hour number, pop quiz, 67? 68? 60, oh, I can't remember what number we're on, guys. 67. For Crafty Hour. Thank you for joining me for Crafty Hour. We will reveal, I think it's 68 tomorrow. So we will reveal the next Crafty Hour at 11 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Pacific. And some of you guys have already kind of guessed what it is from seeing a little sneak peek from the Save the Date image that we did. So it's going to be a super affordable Crafty Hour. And it will go live tomorrow. Crafty Hour 76. Thank you. It'll go live tomorrow. We do have them in store now. So they will be ready for pickup and or shipping right away. So thank you everybody so much for tuning in tonight for Crafty Hour number 76. 78 gets announced tomorrow. I will download the video and get it posted to our YouTube channel, and then also take pictures of my cards and get them posted also. So thank you everybody so much for joining. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you the extras. I think Deanna showed you the extras, but let me show you these too for Crafty Hour. So these are ones that are the samples that are on your packaging that came with them. And these are ones that Paper Rose did and gave to us when we went to market. They had these for samples in their booth. So there is other ones that you can make. So I know a lot of you guys grab some extra pieces, bits and bobs. So here is some more inspiration, and I can take pictures of these and post these over in our Crafty Hour creation group also. So that's it. So thank you everybody for joining me. Have a fabulous night, and we'll see you tomorrow for the reveals. Bye-bye.